everybody, welcome back. We're almost done. I just got to get to Mother Brain. Maybe 2 or 3 more episodes. It's 6:37, and I gotta finish by 7:30 because that's when my Nets play. It's a big game. They're in Milwaukee. It's game 3. If they win this one, this series is over. But if they lose, then it's a whole new ball game. Because they're up 2-0. What's my note for today? Did I want to do a religious note? Or, I should do this one. Stay away from the religious stuff. For crying out loud. I was thinking about Facebook today. Why? I guess I was thinking about interview stuff, and I'm like trying to get my life together or whatever. And I'm like, I was thinking like, well, I'm getting closer to the point where I would go on Facebook and look at like my high school people and see what they're doing. I haven't done that since probably like a year or 2 after I graduated. That's maybe the last time I looked on, like I googled like, oh, what's my person that I knew in high school doing today. The reason why I don't do it now is because when I used to do it, it always made me feel bad about myself. Like, the last time I remember doing it was like, I saw this kid that I knew from high school, and like he was my friend when I was younger. I saw a picture of him, and he's like so grown up, and like he had a suit on, and he looked different, and like his hair was combed, and I'm like, who is that? No, that's not you. So it would be so weird to see pictures of people 10 years older. People that I knew my whole life, and then I just kind of was like, okay, see it. I'm never gonna talk to you or see you again. I mean, I never talked to them when I was in high school anyway, but I'm never gonna see you again. But in the back of my head, I always thought like, okay, well, like when I get my life normalized, then I can kind of look on Facebook and see what people are doing, because I won't feel as bad about myself. Like, oh, I don't have any friends, and I'm just by myself, and I live with my parents, or whatever. So once I get all that stuff figured out, I could go back on Facebook, and it would be kind of cool. That maybe isn't an experience many people have anymore. Like, that's what reunions were for. Speaking of reunions, this year is my 10-year high school reunion. I didn't get any phone calls or anything, so I don't know if they're even doing anything, but they probably are. I grew up right next, I live right next to my high school. I could go. But I probably would have had it already. I graduated in 2010. I do wonder what those people are doing and what they look like, if any of them died. Because yeah, you're with those people every day for 12 years, the most important 12 years of your life, and then they're just gone forever, and then you're like, I wonder what that kid is doing that I saw every day of my life. And like I knew so much about him because like you're there every day with him. If he did something embarrassing at school, it's weird. But I'm not there yet. I'm not ready to go on Facebook. Maybe by the time I am ready, people will all be off Facebook, right? Because nobody likes Facebook anymore. I'll have to go on Instagram. How does that work though? Can you just Google like people on Instagram and search for them? Nobody's on Facebook anymore, right? Once in a while I look on Facebook because like our church has a Facebook group, and I'm like, our Facebook account. I don't like the format of Facebook. It's like, there's something about it that, I don't know what it is, but like it reminds me of like stupid people or like old people. Like I associate Facebook with like people who are dumb. I don't know. I guess it's like a political thing, maybe. So there's a little mini area called Turian. And then at the end, you fight Mother Brain. I forget how to kill these guys. I think you shoot missiles at them. Don't come at me. I think you do this. This is what you do. Like this. And then like this. The Metroids. I think this area is from the first game, right? Ooh. Or maybe the whole place is from the first game. I don't know. I just remember those little donut projectiles they shoot at you. Those little things. Ah. But yeah, I'm not ready to go back on Facebook. That was a note. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that kid, I remember his name, but he's like a doctor and he's wearing a suit, and I'm like, that's that kid. Can't be. No, get away from me. Get away from me. Ah. I don't think I'm done for the day though. So maybe, what's another little note I could talk about? Do I have time? I've got 6 minutes. The interview stuff I guess I could talk about. I had a lot of interviews. I had 2 more interviews this Monday and Wednesday. Today's Thursday. Last week I talked about the other 2 and the bad one. But yeah, the 2 interviews I had this week were kind of good, so maybe I won't talk about them. It's enough already with the, right? I remember when I was in college and like people were graduating and they're like, oh, I got this interview and I got this job. I remember hating those people. Probably because I was jealous. But I just don't want to be that person now who's like, oh, look at all my interviews I got. I'm so important and I'm so smart because I got all these interviews. Nobody cares about your interview with Deloitte. That was the big one. That was a big accounting one. Everybody's like, oh, I got my PricewaterhouseCooper interview. Oh, but I'm going to work at Deloitte. But I'm going to work at... Those are the only 2 I remember. And I'm like, I don't want to do any of this business stuff. I don't want to intern with Deloitte or whatever. I don't want to do this. I don't want to play my video games. I think that's it. I'm better now about all the adult stuff, but back then I was like, I don't want to do any of that stuff. I don't want to network. I might be able to network now. I don't know. That's a little bit arrogant of me to say, but like, I might be able to do it. Because I've been doing the interviews and they're fine. I don't dread them like I used to. I think I talked about that last week, like the expansion of time or whatever. I like that. I need to think of a title for that episode. Something about time. Uh-oh, what's gonna happen? What? He sucks the life juice out of him. Ah! No. I was just noticing how, like, I'm not feeling nervous about the jobs, but then I'm also like, I should be making a big deal about that. Like, oh man, like you're doing all these interviews and you're not even really that nervous and they're not even really that hard for you. That's like, make a big deal about that because that's like so big and awesome and it's like a big accomplishment. It's weird that the reason why I don't do that is the same reason why the interviews are easy. It's because I'm not like making a big deal about them. So it's hard. Like it used to be what happened was like I'd have a big presentation or a big interview, and I'd worry about it for months, and I'd be all nervous, and the interview would be, most of the time it would be terrible, and then afterward I would be like so happy and relieved, like, oh man, the interview was terrible, but you got through it. Like you were worrying about it for all these months, and it's finally over. But now it's just, it comes and goes like anything else, and so I don't really appreciate how big of a deal it is that I did it. But so that's kind of a bummer. Right? It would be nice if I could be like, wow, like you did the thing that was so hard before, and you did it, and it actually wasn't that bad either. But I can't do that, because I'm like, well, once I start making it a big deal, then it's going to be a big deal again, right? And then it'll be harder to do. Save. I guess I'll get to Mother Brain today, and I'll end the episode. I think what I'm going to plan to do is every other week I'll switch between playing like a console game like this, and then doing an emulator game, because I'm still not super comfortable doing the emulator, and I feel like those episodes, there's something a little bit off about them. I think you're just supposed to use the missile. Oh, freaking donuts. Okay, I think I want to use the super missiles on the Mother Brain. Okay, am I there? No. Okay, we're there. Yep. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow. So maybe 1 or 2 more episodes left. Maybe 1. No, probably 2. Yeah, let's try to do 2 more. Okay, cool.